The black smoke looks pretty scary, but trust me, this is good news. The Webasto is finally working and we have heat on the boat. But we have some bad news as well, and this is pretty bad news, isn't it?
Yeah, one thing gets fixed, another one breaks. Trying to get the anchor up now by hand because the windlass has got a problem, a hydraulic problem, which is going to affect the bow thruster as well. So docking might be a bit interesting as well. It's always these last minute problems. Why couldn't this happen at the beginning of winter?
And welcome to our last episode from Montenegro, unless I'm speaking too soon.
Yeah, just about everything that could go wrong last minute has gone wrong. So we've been rushing around a little bit in this episode, you'll see, but we are now at anchor and our last night in Montenegro, ready to go. I hope the boat's ready to go, even if we're not.
We're testing it, aren't we? We're still testing. I hope you like the film. Coming up, dashing across borders to fix a vital component. A new way to deliver a sail, and a fond farewell to the washing machine. You will be missed. Varnishing, polishing, cleaning, realigning, and new shiny rigging. All that preparation is now done, so we're ready to set sail. Hurrah! Except disaster. The hydraulic system is broken and no one knows what's wrong. Damir, the expert, says we should take the pump to Serbia to be fixed. It's an 8-hour road trip through mountains, along rivers, and of course across a border. We hire a car which looks a bit like this one and bite the bullet, driving all the way to the workshop in Čačak. We've been to this region before. 25 years ago, we were working as journalists travelling to Serbia and Kosovo. We camped out in tents with villagers fleeing from the fighting and chased down UN peacekeepers to find out what they were doing about it.
We've urged the people to be very careful and do it. The site is obviously under fire.
Now the war is over, and Serbia at least is very quiet. And quite pretty.
So it was quite a drive up into Serbia. It was very nice. Got a little cabin that we're staying in. River over there. It's a bit cooler here as well, but we're up early because we've got to get out to deliver. Where is it? This is our package.
It's been nicely packed up, hasn't it?
It has. So these are the two things that we've got to take. So that's the PTO. This is the unit, the slave unit that goes in the sound locker, because we're going to do both just to get them serviced, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah,
so yeah,
you've come all this way. I'd hate someone saying, "Oh no, it's the other one."
So yeah, let's get up there. So give them time to do it. We're hoping they can do it in a day, and we can just take it back on Friday.
Yep. We're staying about 20 minutes from the factory, and the road takes us literally through the mountains. Tunnel after tunnel, and they get longer and longer.
Is that full beam?
It's full beam. Oh, it is. It's drips from the ceiling that are causing these potholes. That is the worrying thing.
Drips over a very long time, I should imagine. I don't know how old this tunnel is.
Yeah, well, the potholes are very deep, so yes, a long time.
This is the main road though to the village, so everyone comes through here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to back up. That's going to go one day, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the winter when it's frozen.
So it looks like we're going to a farm. But this is one of the major places for hydraulics, apparently.
In there?
Yeah, there. That's it.
Okay. It's the best hydraulic workshop in the region, and our chance of finding out which of our two pumps is faulty. Or maybe it's both.
And that's the pump. The PTO, yeah, this one's the PTO.
Change cells,
Yeah.
then testing.
Yeah, you can test here, can you?
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah.
Block. First testing and see why not send signal.
Yeah.
Well, while the pump's being examined and we hope fixed, as luck would have it, we're in the middle of a national park. So we're going up for a moderate walk. Well, I say moderate, but it looks to me like a bit of a climb.
Yeah, it's one of these all trails things. We've been on what they call a moderate walk before. It looks straight up, but there's some sort of cave up there. So, yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a hike.
It is, and it starts in a tunnel. So much as the roads go through tunnels, so do the walks.
So no fires and no shooting.
Or picking flowers, or dropping your boxes. Well, that covers most things.
So is that a cowslip? Only get that in wetland in England. And that looks like a peony leaf. Haven't seen that in woodland either. Good job, this is a moderate walk then.
Oh, I don't know what those hard ones are like. Don't even want to try. Woo.
Come on, onwards and upwards.
Okay. I think this guy might be something to do with the trail, because you see the white dot with the red around it pretty much everywhere here, don't you? And I think down there, one of those little huts is ours. Well, for a night or two anyway. Finally, we make it to the church. There's always a church, and this seems a good place to call it a day.
So it's quite a cute little cabin, this, right on the river. There were some people out here fishing when we first arrived. In fact, they showed us where the place was, trying to catch carp and dogfish apparently. And this mountain over here, up there, is where that church was, looking down on here. Not a bad little place. Serbia's nice.
Next morning, we get a call saying our pumps have been fixed and serviced. Things are looking up. All done?
Yeah, all done. Very good. Get it done in a day. Total rebuild. Cost €550 in the end, which is a fair bit, but I think it took a lot of work. They rebuilt both the units completely. So that's pretty good. Bit of a cash economy. So we had to sort of have a mix of euros and dinar. Got some dinar from here. But yeah, that's great. Hopefully get that done, take it back. We'll have to flush the whole system because they found some bits of metal in the oil, so I'm going to take all the oil out and flush it all through, put a new filter in. Should be good to go.
A good result for us, and with our mood lifted, we head back to the boat. But first, a short stop at another tourist attraction. Lidl. Food, glorious food.
They have a little
films, if you will.
Provisioning, our final preparations for our trip down to Malta. And did I mention we got our freezer fixed? I'm really excited to have our freezer back up and running. And we're going to check the temperature this time with our Ruvi, because in the past it never really got low enough for ice cream. So now I've risked it and I've got some ice cream. Never have we had so many people helping out on the boat. Kiko completely reworked the freezer by cutting out 2 dryers and replacing them with one bigger one. Sounds a bit dramatic maybe, but it did the job. We now have a freezer that goes down to -18 degrees. Result. The rest of the provisions we store under the seat in the saloon. Cans and dried food mostly, the heavy stuff.
So as you can see, we've still got quite a lot of space left. We're not going to completely fill it up though, partly because there's more variety really in other parts of Europe. Food here is fairly cheap, but there's not massive variety. One of the things we did find that we like is this one here. These tins of tomatoes are little cherry tomatoes, and they're really nice. I haven't seen them anywhere else, so we've got quite a few of those. It's mainly the heavy things we're trying to get, because that's always a hassle when you're doing stuff in the dinghy, maybe having to walk a bit of a distance as well. The booze cupboard's not too full either. I've got some tonic and things to try and pad it out, stop things rattling around. It's quite expensive here, alcohol, and you don't get the sort of wines and things that you'll get in Europe, so it's better to wait until we get to Malta for that sort of thing. But what we have got is quite a bit of rakia now. After being to Serbia, all around the Balkans, they love rakia, not to be confused with raki, which is what you get in Turkey and Greece. That's double fermented grape. This stuff is made out of different fruits, and I think this one that we got from the people that did our hydraulics, they took us out for breakfast and gave us this bottle. It was really nice of them, and I think that's a plum one. So yeah, gonna enjoy having that one. Put that in the cupboard up there.
And now the moment of truth. Both pumps worked perfectly in the workshop, but has that solved the problem? Oh dear.
You're a little bit upset.
It's not good. We're in quite a bit of trouble here really, because Demir doesn't know what the problem is any more than we do. This is the power takeoff, which we've had back on, and it should actually be working because it worked on the test bed with the remote unit which is in the bow, but it's not working now. So yeah, it's very odd, getting nothing out of the bow thruster at all. You just get the idle pressure, so the bow thruster moves same as the windlass, but not with any gusto, because it needs power going down this, so it has high pressure going down this pipe through this control valve, and that was all working on the bench. We haven't got a pressure tester to know that it's working here, but there's one on the other end of the pipe there, and we're getting no pressure on that, and it's very odd. I don't know, no one can work it out at the moment. With the tank here, we found there's another filter that's actually inside that tank, very odd, in a big unit, as well as the big one which is here, which we've replaced behind me. Unlikely that it's that, because it's just very unlikely. But we're stumped at the moment, completely stumped.
And can we move without it?
No, not really. I mean, yes, we could put it all back together. It has to be bolted on. You can't leave the power takeoff off, because you start losing the gearbox oil. But you could put it all back together, but then we would have no power for the bow thruster, which isn't the end of the world, but we wouldn't have any power for the windlass either, which is because you might not be able to get the anchor up. So yeah, not good. So a simplified version of the hydraulic setup looks like this. The engine provides the power for the thruster. It does this by means of a PTO, or power takeoff, on the gearbox, and a slave servo unit in the bow. Running between the two units are 2 large flow and return hydraulic pipes and a couple of smaller pipes. We're just showing the one for the bow thruster here. So the demand for power comes first from the electrical joystick on the binnacle. This opens a valve in the slave unit, which pressurizes the small control line, moves a plate in the PTO, resulting in a lot of flow in the big pipes and onto the thruster. So the slave unit could be to blame, or the PTO. And looking at the diagram, it's pretty obvious there's one more thing it could be too.
Now, as you can imagine, we've been a little bit gloomy over the past few hours, but I've just heard cheering coming from the saloon. And
yeah, I mean, it is very depressing, because we just didn't know. Demi and I both looked at it and thought, we don't know what's wrong with this. And the guys were going to come back from Serbia to check their work on both of the pumps, because we just couldn't find anything wrong at all. So I actually started on a different job, which was the VHF aerial here. I know there's a bad connection in that, so I was just checking those, and I found down here, look, if you point the camera right down the bottom there, I thought it was some water. I just came to mop it up, and that is oil. So there is a major leak. I've just taken all the floor up, look, it's all in here. So these are the lines that go through, these 4 lines here. These 2 are the high pressure ones. So it'll be one of those 2 lines that will have a very, very small hole in it somewhere. It doesn't take much, I know that, but I mean the amount of oil that's come out of here, it'll be, you know, it's probably a bit bigger than a pinprick size. I'm gonna have to try and find it. But yeah, at least we know what it is now. We just need to replace this hose. It's probably the same one that we had a tiny hole in before, actually right out in the locker there. When we get this system started up, you'll see where it's coming from, but at the moment we can't do that because we've half disassembled it again. So yeah, Damir's going to come back, we'll put it all back together again, find this, hopefully, touch wood. That's the problem.
That's going to be so much better than people coming down from Serbia.
Yes, we were. That was going to be, because they don't know what they're looking for either, and they're scratching their heads because they said it worked perfectly on the bench, and how could it not be working now? So you know,
it turns out it probably did.
Yeah,
work perfectly.
yeah, of course, yeah, and this makes perfect sense. It's just the link between both of the units, which is this pipe here. So yeah, good.
And here is the damage. Goodness knows what it was chafing against. We just need to replace it.
Follow me the hose through this hole and I will.
So Damir returns, the pipe is laid, and as evening falls, bingo. Now that is what we want to see. Yeah, it's moving, it's working. Woo!
That's good.
Nice of the marina to celebrate with us.
So all that messing around with hydraulics has delayed us slightly with our boat jobs. I mean, you never finish boat jobs, but now we're just trying to get the most important ones done before we leave. One of which is taking our mainsail off and measuring that up, because we want to get precision to try and get it to us before we cross the Atlantic, which would be really nice. And while we're at the dockside here, that's easy to do. But it's a bit windy today, so I'm not doing that. I'm doing this instead, which is something else I want to try that I've heard good reports of. This is an Orca. This is the Orca Core. And as you can see, it wires directly into the NMEA system. I open this up. I mean, we are on Ray Marine here, so we've got the Sea-Talk NG, and you have to have a cable to convert from that, and then the very expensive T-piece and extension cable. Ray Marine, I don't know why your cables are so expensive. They are ridiculous. But anyway, if you've just got an NMEA system on board anyway, you just plug this straight in, and it will then give information to the system and bring it back out and feed it to a tablet. So within this, it's got its own GPS, it's got a 9-axis motion unit, so it can really tell how the boat's moving, what's happening, and it'll just relay all that information to your tablet. So if I have a look here on the iPad, you can see as I zoom in, it's got the AIS information on there, which it's getting from the boat system. I can then put some telemetry up, so it's picking up all the wind speed, direction, all that sort of stuff as well. And it's a smart system, so it should learn this sort of stuff, learn polar diagrams, all sorts of stuff. So I really want to try this out, and I think it's going to be really good. And one of the other good things about this is that it can come with its own tablet. You don't have to you can use a proprietary tablet of any sort, but they're now making their own one. They're on the second version, which I'm sort of waiting for, because that's supposed to be very good, because it's waterproof, it's supposed to be very bright, so you can view it in sunlight, and it's got its own charging sort of port on the bottom of that, so it'll sort of sit on here, but then you can take it around. It's supposed to last for about 8 hours. So yeah, if this works really well, which so far it is on here, I think I'll get that tablet as well, and I'll do a big technical review of the whole thing and tell you what we think of it. So yeah, I'll get this in, hopefully ready for our little trip down to Malta.
The last time we took the sail off was about 5 years ago, and I think we're paying the price, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we've had the sail itself down more recently than that, but we don't normally take the cars off because it is such a pain. Normally you can undo it from here and leave the cars on, but I want to inspect all of them and make sure they've all got all their balls in, because I know we've lost some. These tend to come, look, this one, in fact, I can feel it, it's loose, the end of it. So I want to take all these screws out, Loctite them back in, put the balls in and slip them on, and then once they're all on, attach the sail with this bit, because some of these as well are loose. This one's not too bad, but some of them you can see were a bit sideways, so they might need new bushes or something. I don't know, it just all needs a bit of TLC really.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
Well, I mean, you can't fold them up properly when you're on deck, so it's a bit of a lump, and I don't think we're going to be able to squeeze this off the back of the boat. So I think we'll use the technique we had before when we are on the islands and shove it in the dinghy. And if it's in the dinghy, we haven't got the kayak there, because last time we towed it, so I'm going to try and stand on top and paddle it. We'll paddle it over to there, and then we can drag it up onto the pontoon.
This is a crazy, crazy plan. Can I just say that if all else fails, save the sail, not yourself.
It'll be fine, it'll be fine. If I can row it with one oar, if you pass me the oar,
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get it over there.
Okay.
It's definitely easier towing it.
I know, I'm all heart. Well done.
Made it. Good job. Don't even think it got wet.
Excellent. Measuring the sail is pretty easy once it's ashore.
5 meters 15.
After folding, we also managed to squeeze the sail in through the back. Now all we need to do is service the cars and put it up again.
So I'm going to strip down all these cars. They have stainless steel bolts on the ends here, holding the ends on, and of course stainless steel and aluminium, they just start to corrode. Some of them actually have started to come undone, which is why I lost a few of the balls before. They either do that or they get completely stuck, but you know, I'll get them out while I still can, and put some Loctite on. You can use Tefgel. Obviously Tefgel might do a better job of stopping the corrosion, but I really don't want them backing out, so Loctite does almost as good a job and stops them coming out. So I'll put plenty of that on, take all these out, load them back up with the balls and put them on. Now some of them, like this one's got quite worn, where it's probably lost some balls and rubbed against the track itself. So I'll put this at the bottom and the better ones at the top, since they've got more distance to go and you haul it all up. But when they've got all the balls in there, they should be fine. Shouldn't rub again. Okay, so it's time to load them on. So I have my safety system here with 2 bits of tape, so I can put it on the bottom bit here. So you just offer it up. They go alternately. These ones are in between the battens and these ones for the battens, this way up, because that's they go in there. Just line that up, roll them on. That's it. And stick that, because if it falls off the end there, balls will go everywhere. So I just just do that with all of them. Load them all on, ready for the sail.
And finally, our last job of all, the washing. Oh, the joy of having a washing machine. And while the washing's been done, I've been out on a run. So I've come back and, yep, it is all finished, which is just as well, because I will not be having a washing machine for a while now. It's back to the buckets for me, so I hope it's pretty much all been done. All done, sheets, blankets and winter gear I hope we will not need again until the autumn.
Yes, well, I think that was a bit optimistic. The sun is trying to come out, but I'm still here in my winter gear.
Yes, but we did get the Webasto working properly. The smoke did stop, so that's good. We had a warm night at anchor last night, so yeah, I think hopefully we are ready to go. And you know, really, although it's sad to leave Montenegro, we are sort of ready to get sailing now. It's going to be a good year of sailing, this one.
And you're never completely ready, are you? That's the thing. No. I mean, that's a good thing about coming out for a couple of nights, just to say, oh, do I remember how to do this?
The boat's not completely ready. We should be, though.
Yeah, I know. And with our future plans, we won't be stopping like this again. Certainly not for, well, it's been nearly 6 months, hasn't it?
Yeah, the winter.
So,
yeah, we're tropics from now on. So yeah, more constant sailing, which is good.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that we're going. And I'm looking forward to going to Malta. I mean, it's the first time we've been there. You've got family there.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Spend a bit of time there, hopefully. Yeah, it's somewhere I've always wanted to sail into as well, Valletta Harbour. So really looking forward to that. At least one of the girls is going to come and visit us there. Maybe, hopefully, more. We're there for a little while. So yeah, that'll be really nice. And then we've got to hot foot it out of the Med and across the Atlantic.
And we hope that at some point we will be able to get our new sails delivered. We think maybe Gibraltar or maybe even the Balearics. It depends on where and when we stop, and that depends a lot on Schengen, which we've talked about before, so I won't go into it again.
We have actually got to write up all those details and send them off to Precision, otherwise it's not even going to start. There's been quite a lot going on, so yeah, we've sort of not kept up with the paperwork. We've got to get all that sort of stuff done. But it's good to get the hydraulics finally finished. It was a bit of a rookie error, that one, but it was basically right from the start when Demir came on board, had a look at this. Because there was no pressure, even when you wanted the windlass to go as well as the bow thruster, we thought, well, it's got to be the pump. But actually looking at the system, there is just that one pipe. There's 2 pipes that go back to actually give signal for each one, but there's only one that goes to the PTO to tell it to boost the pressure, and it was that pipe that went. So I know now, you know, you learn. It's a learning experience.
It is, and we have now had the pump serviced, so that's a good thing as well.
It is a good thing.
We should be good to go. We're rocking just a little bit here. Someone out there is learning how to ski on a ski board.
Everything goes on in Montenegro. It will be a shame to leave, but looking forward to the year ahead.
So I hope you've enjoyed our winter season. Thank you very much to our patrons for sticking with us when we weren't doing a great deal of sailing. Thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.